Okay, so let's do the next one. Again, I'm taking advantage. The idea I'm using is we're using the x-intercept idea. So that right there is my y. So we're going to take our calculator. We're going to go to y equals. Let me go ahead and clear out the function I had there. And the absolute value, again, we're going to go to our math and over to the num. And it's ABS. And what we have inside there is 3x plus 4. And then we're subtracting 10 from it. Subtract 10. Okay, so again, I think we did some graphing. An absolute value graph looks like a V shape. So when I go graph this, I'm expecting, let me press enter to get it in the calculator, press graph, and oops, you know what? I had my window wrong, right? So again, I forgot to zoom standard it, right? So don't forget. All right, I should have done it for viewing. There we go. So now in our standard viewing rectangle, there's our function, and we see, right, there's actually two x-intercepts, meaning there's two solutions to this situation. So how do we get our calculator to do that? We're going to go to second and calculate, trace. We're going to actually calculate a 0, and let's go do the one that's over to the left. So again, I have to move my cursor over to an x value. Right, here's my point of interest. Right now my cursor has an x value that's to its left. Press enter. Then we got to go somewhere to its right. All right, so definitely to its right there. And then we have to give it kind of an educated guess. And I think that looks good right there. And so when I use my calculator, the calculator is giving me an estimate of -4 point, I guess that would be 667 if I round to actually 667 since I'm rounding to 4. Of course, you could also, if you want more accuracy, just say that's 4.6 with a bar on it. And of course, this is also where y equals to 0. So there's one of our solutions. Again, if we'd approach this algebraically like we should be doing, right, that fractional answer we got should be equal to that one. I guess it would be -4 2/3, right, if we did it with the algebra. Let's calculate the other one. So second calculate. We got another 0 over here. And so we're going to move our cursor. Again, here's my point of interest. I got to move my cursor, which is here right now, somewhere over to the left of it. So there's, how about we just say right there? So I'm to the left. Then I got to move it to the right. Press enter. And then I got to get it a little bit of an estimate, right? So right there, enter. And so that value is a nice one, right? That's basically, it's not an estimate. It's telling us x is 2, all right? So there's another, all right, x-intercept on that graph that we can either find algebraically, or that's how you use your calculator. All right. And again, I failed to mention that in the last one, but make sure, you know, if you're double checking and you're talking to your classmates, you know, make sure again you tell us, you know, right now we're from -10 to 10, -10 to 10, and my sketch roughly looks like that, right? And there's a point of interest here. Here's a point of interest there, right? And that way everybody has the same picture that you have. So please just don't throw answers at us. Give us some background information. What's the function you entered, right? What's the picture look like, right? And what are you looking for on the graph? In this case, I'm looking for x-intercepts. That will help us give you the help that you need if you have a question, if you give us that inside information. One more, again, following our script, this is y, it's equal to 0, so we're going to be looking for x-intercepts. So my first thing I need to do is enter that function. So I'm going to come to y equals. Let me clear that function out. And we've got x minus, open up my square root. And in that square root, we have x minus 2. We don't need to be in the radicand anymore, so let me move out. And then we're going to subtract 2 from that. So there's basically the function. Graph it. I believe I left on the standard viewing rectangle, so we can see, all right, there does seem to be some action right about in here. It's kind of hard to see it exactly, so how about we use that good zoom feature. We're going to zoom in, and how about right now my cursor is at 0, 0, so let's move it over to the right, and let's move over here, how about right there, right? That seems to be where the action really is. Let me press enter. And the graph's going to zoom in on that feature. So we can see, right, we've really zoomed in a lot. There does seem to be an x-intercept right around there. So how do we find that? We'll go to calculate. So second trace, ask for a 0. My cursor, right, we have to move it somewhere over to the left of that point of interest. So I'm clearly to the left. we have to move to the right and get to the right of that 0. So I'm definitely to the right. And then I have to give myself some educated guess, which looks good about right there. Press enter, and it looks like we get an estimated value of, what is that, 3. It's not even an estimate. It's an accurate, nice value of 3. All right, so there's actually another way that we can do this. But right there, the first idea to solve an equation is to take advantage of the x-intercept concept. Your function, right, is going to be set equal to 0 because y is 0, which means we're finding an x-intercept. So hopefully the algebra is in line with the button pushing, and everything will be cool, right? You can do things algebraically, quiz-wise, and you can check them with your technology. All right, one more way to do this. I'll show that in the next video.